And Yuka joins me here on set. Yuka, the European Union has charged Facebook owner Meta with breaching the bloc's tech rules.
Well, Monty, it's Meta's new pay or consent advertising model that got in Brussels crosshairs. The EU's antitrust regulators say that no ads subscription service violates the Digital Markets Act, the latest in a wave of recent crackdowns on big tech. If convicted, it could result in billions of euros in fines for Meta, as Jenny Shen explains.
Another tech giant in hot water with the European Union. The EU Commission says Meta violated the blog's digital competition rules by forcing Facebook and Instagram users to choose between seeing ads or paying at least €10 to avoid them.
The preliminary findings concern the compliance of Meta with the DMA provision on combining personal data. The next step is for Meta to reply to these, to have a look at our file, and then, we see what the next steps are.
The findings come after a probe into Meta under the Digital Markets Act, which forces tech giants to give European users more choice online. The Commission says Meta's model does not allow users to exercise their right to freely consent to allowing their personal data from its various services, including Facebook, Instagram, Marketplace, WhatsApp and Messenger, to be combined to target them with personalized online ads. But Meta insists it's done no wrong.
Subscription for no ads follows the direction of the highest court in Europe and complies with the DMA. We look forward to further constructive dialogue with the European Commission to bring this investigation to a close.
If ruled non-compliant, the company could face fines worth 10% of its annual global revenues, which could equal billions of euros. And it's the latest of recent EU crackdowns on big tech. The Commission has accused Apple of continuing to restrict app makers from pointing users to cheaper options outside its App Store, and also recently charged Microsoft with violating the bloc's antitrust laws.
And Yuka, in other corporate news, France's troubled IT giant Atos is finally seeing light at the end of the tunnel.
Well, Atos reached a debt restructuring deal with creditors days after the latest takeover proposal fell through. It will see 2.9 billion euros of the company's debt converted into shares and existing credit holders taking control of the company. Lenders also agreed to provide 1.68 billion euros in new debt and 233 million euros in new equity. The deal offers a respite to the IT group, a key cybersecurity and data provider for the Paris Olympics, as well as the French nuclear industry and military. It's been on the verge of collapse, with its shares tumbling 85% since the start of the year, Monty.
Wow, 85%. Okay, let's have a look at the day's trading action. How have global financial markets reacted to the first round of the legislative elections here in France?
Usually, markets don't like surprises. Markets don't like political uncertainty. And now, with a hung parliament looking like the most likely scenario here in France, there is uncertainty. But it seems investors saw this as better than another scenario in which either the extreme right or the leftist coalition secured an outright majority. Paris's CAC 40 rose sharply at the open, and although it gave up some of the early gains, it closed up more than 1%. The index had lost about 7% over the past 3 weeks. Wall Street closed higher as well, with the Nasdaq leading gains. Investors are also keeping an eye on the upcoming general election in the UK. Now, shares in Boeing and Spirit Aerosystems are both soared today after the plane maker agreed to buy back its key supplier for $4.7 billion in stock. Rival Airbus also moved to take on Spirit's Europe-focused activities, which were making losses.
Well, there's been a lot of concern over France's debt, and the worries aren't going away, are they, after the first round of these elections?
Well, all parties, of course, campaigned on the promise of improving people's livelihoods, struggling with the cost of living crisis. But the far left promise, such as bringing the retirement age back down again, have raised concern they would drive up France's already large government spending. Last month, the European Union put France on notice, warning disciplinary action if it doesn't rein in on spending. The current debt and deficit levels are already way above the bloc's limits, as one market analyst explains.
Concerns by financial markets was and still is that France could spend more money. that it would be on a confrontation, on a collision course with Brussels. Also, I think markets are concerned that we could see more nationalist economic policies, which means projects like the Capital Markets Union, projects like an energy union, so would no longer be valid.
So there are still a lot of concerns, as we could see there. And that's it for business for now.
Okay, Yuka, thanks so much. Yuka Oria with business there.